Welcome back, everybody. We're going to fix us up some of America's favorite barbecue, baby back ribs. Y'all hang around. It's going to be fun.
Welcome to Smokin' Ass Barbecue.
All right, we got our ribs out of the pack and rinsed off. And so we're just going to pat this top dry a little bit. Don't have to get all the water off, but get most of it. Just like so. Now, first thing you'll notice, as with most ribs, these have a membrane on the back. Now, some people leave it on, some people score it, whatever. Really doesn't make a lot of difference to me, but I always take mine off because there's some people that don't like it. So I always try and take the membranes off of them. And what I usually try and do is just find me a rib down here on the end, get my butter knife up under there, and kind of pry them up. That's a slippery little bone right there now, I'm telling you. We'll just get him pried up some there. And then we'll get us a paper towel. And we'll get him started. Now, sometimes these will come off in one piece, sometimes they won't. But it's not really a big deal. Either way, it don't take that long to take it off, and it's not that difficult. So, we've got that off now. All I want to do is any little hanging pieces that might overcook or kind of mess up our ribs here. See, there's a big piece there that's hanging off. Get rid of that. And usually down here on this end, baby back ribs are, for the most part, really lean. So we want to treat these pretty much like we would a pork loin or any other lean meat. We want to take good precautions on drying it out. So we don't want to get rid of any of this fat down here. But where there's some thick areas there, we can take that off. That would not make a good bite if somebody grabbed that. So we'll get rid of that. Trim it just a little bit there. That's about all I'm really going to do with these. So I'm going to go ahead and get the second one there. Y'all don't need to watch me skin two of them. So I'm going to get this second one done up and cleaned up, and then we'll come back and get our seasoning on. So we'll be right back. We are back, and we've got our little ribs trimmed up here. Now, baby back ribs, they come right from the loin section. The loin actually lays right up on top up here. And of course, as y'all know, pork loin's a very lean cut of meat. And the baby back ribs, they tend to be pretty lean. So we want to take every precaution we can throughout the cook to keep them from drying out. That's one of the biggest problems people have with baby backs. By the time you get them done and good and tender, they're dried out. And we're going to try and avoid that in a few ways. But the first thing we're going to do, we're going to give them a little shot of olive oil here. If you don't have a spray, you can just rub some on. You can use vegetable oil if you want to. You can actually just use a little warm tap water if you prefer. This will work as a binder to help hold our seasoning on. But also, as you probably know, oil and water don't mix. So by having a little coat of oil on top of our meat, it won't totally prevent it, but it will help a little bit with the moisture being able to pass through and evaporate out. It'll work a little bit like a barrier. So that's two reasons I like it. It'll work as a binder, and it'll also help a little bit in keeping our meat, keeping the moisture inside our meat for us. So I've already mixed up my rub, and this is our basic Outlaw Barbecue rib rub. It's a very simple rub. It's probably just everything you got in your kitchen you can make this with, more than likely. It's a little bit of a sweet rub with a pretty good solid savory base to it. So it just makes a really good, well-balanced rub. And I'll put the ingredients up above if y'all want to use this. If you have a favorite rub that you'd rather use, then by all means use that. And I like to start on the bone side of my ribs. The other side will be our presentation side, so I like to do it last so we don't scoot it around and mess it up. Well, it's going to get us a good little even coat on here. We don't need to go crazy with it, but we want to get some seasoning into them. And remember, always pat your rub. Don't rub it. It'll form clumps if you rub this damp rub, and nobody wants to take a big bite of clump of spice. I promise you that. Okay, and we'll get our top side up here. There we go, just a nice, good even coat all the way across. Like so, and pat her down. Okay, now like I was saying, the baby back ribs, they come from up near the, next to the loin section on the pig, up top next to the spine. The baby back ribs and spare ribs are actually the same ribs. The spare ribs would just be down here. So they take a whole rib section out, and then when they cut it across here, you have the spare ribs on the bottom down towards the belly side, and then you have the baby back ribs. And a lot of times you'll see these referred to as loin ribs or loin back ribs. But then you'll have these left on the top. So there's just one section of ribs, they cut them in half, and you get the baby backs on the top and the spare ribs on the bottom. So we have got these seasoned up here. I like to let these sit for a little bit and let that rub soak in some and kind of get set on there good. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to wrap these up in some foil here, and we'll set them aside. If you're going to do your ribs within the next hour, so I'm going to let these rest 30 minutes to an hour, somewhere. I like to do it at least 30 minutes. An hour is plenty. I wouldn't go much over that if you don't have to. But anyway, if you're going to do your ribs right away, within an hour or so, then you can just leave them sitting on the counter so they're more room temperature when you put them in your smoker. If it's going to be over an hour with ribs or any kind of meat, let them rest in the refrigerator. You don't want to leave any meat sitting out at room temperature for over an hour. So we're just going to get these wrapped up a little bit here, and I'm going to set them right over on the counter while I'm getting the smoker ready, and we will meet y'all outside. Okay, we've got everything moved out to the pergola and we are ready to get underway here. It's a beautiful, gorgeous day out, but it is going to be a warm day. It's a little before noon now and it is 98 degrees and we're expecting to hit about 102 as a high this afternoon. So it's going to be a warm day on us. So we're going to spend as little time as we possibly can sweating out here. So I've already put our ribs in the smoker. Save a little time. I already got those in there. I'll show you a shot of that in just a minute. Well, we're going to be using the Masterbuilt 40-inch electric. And we're going to be running at 275 all the way through. We're going to cook these for a while, get some color and some smoke on them. Then we're going to wrap them up in a little while. So we're going to run 275 all the way through. I normally use apple when I do pork. That's just kind of my preferred flavor for pork. But I thought I'd do something just a little bit different today. I'm going to use cherry instead of apple. Any fruit wood or mild wood pairs well with pork. I want to use the cherry just because I haven't used it in a while and I really like the smell of the cherry smoke. So that's the only reason I'm doing the cherry today, is really just something different and something different to smell. So I've got the ribs in and we're going to let those go now for, we'll check back in about an hour. I like to check things about every hour just to make sure everything's working okay. So we'll see y'all back then. Okay, here is a shot of our ribs in the smoker. As you can see, I've already got the thermometer probe in so we can keep an eye on it from up at the house. And also, I don't know if you can tell in the video or not, I did put water in the water pan, which I don't do a lot, but I did want to do on this because, as I mentioned earlier, these baby backs are very lean. So we want to do everything we can to help keep them moist and keep them from drying out on us during this initial part of the cook. So we're going to close this up and get our wood chips in, get things smoking, and we will see y'all in about an hour. Okay, we got our chips in and the ribs are underway. We'll see y'all shortly. Okay, it has been an hour, right about. We'll take a look and see how things are coming. See what kind of color we have and our internal temperature. Our internal temperature right now is about 150, so we're getting pretty close to the wrapping stage. Get another area here and see what it says. The color's looking really good. They're good and moist. Very glad to see that. The color's looking really good, but I'd like to get a little bit more color on them. So maybe another 30 minutes or so, and then we'll probably be ready to get these little puppies wrapped up. So we'll let these go for a little bit, and we'll see y'all back shortly. And it is definitely getting warm outside, people. We're about 2 hours in, and we're up to about 165 degrees. So I want to see, oh yeah, now that's much better, much better. Yep, we got good color on here. That's mainly what I was trying to take care of. And you see, we still got good moisture, so we're holding okay with that. We don't want to push this, so I'm going to get a couple things set up here and get ready, and we're going to pull these little babies out and get them wrapped up. Okay, I've got one of our backs of ribs out here, and we're going to do this really simple. I don't want to put a lot of stuff on this. We've already got our rib rub on there for our seasoning, so I don't want to overpower this with anything. We've got plenty of smoke, so we're going to keep this real simple. Now, you can do anything you want to do at this point. If you want to go ahead and add the butter and more rub or whatever, then by all means, go right ahead and do that. I'm just going to keep this simple right now. And one thing is, I want to get these in and as quick as possible. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to sprinkle a little honey on there. I'm going to give them another little touch of brown sugar or turbinado sugar. And I'm going to flip them over so the meat side is down. And I'm going to do the same thing on the back side. I'm just going to give them a nice little squirt of honey and a little kiss of sugar. And that's it. We're going to wrap these things up. And I'm using double foil here. And of course, if you'll notice, I've got the, excuse me, I've got the double side facing out. So it reflects less heat off of our food. You can see the foil. There we go. Okay, we're just gonna cut these right up. And we've got another foil in there. Okay, there we go. And we're gonna get these right back in the smoker. Just like that. And I'll get the other rack out. I'm gonna do the exact same thing to them. And when we get through, once I get these done, I'm gonna sauce one of them. And I'm gonna leave the other one plain, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So I'm gonna get this one back in, get the other one done, and I'll keep an eye on the temperature, but we'll probably see you back in about an hour. All right. I wanted to take just a minute and mention something while we got a break here. Just in case any of y'all are in the market for thermometers or whatever, I just thought I'd throw a couple things out to you. I got me a new toy. So I'm a big fan of Thermopro thermometers. And they're not a sponsor of mine. This just strictly is my opinion. I've used Thermopro for years, and believe me, I have used them a lot. I've got several of their products I've bought over the years. Every product I have of theirs is still in perfect shape and still works perfect. I just got this one the other day. It's an instant read, and there's a couple things about it that I really liked that I wanted to mention. First of all, I like the color of it. I love the black, sleek look of it. Also, this one, it comes on when you open the probe automatically. You don't have to hunt for a button or anything. It turns off when you close the probe. You don't have to wait for it to time out and stuff, which I hate that. Now, I'm a real stickler for my thermometers. First thing I do when I get one in is I check it. I test it to make sure it's accurate. I've never had a Thermopro thermometer test more than 0.5 degrees off when it arrived, which that's reasonable. I can live with that. Anything over that, I'm sending it back, okay? But I've never had a Thermopro more than 0.5 degrees off. I tested this one the other day when it came in, and it was 0.1 degree over, which that's so close it's perfect. I mean, that may not even be a problem with the thermometer. It might be in the actual testing process or whatever. So this one was 0.1 degrees. I test all of mine at least twice a year, all of them. I'm just real particular about it. Sometimes 3 or 4 degrees don't make much difference. Sometimes 1 degree can really make a difference. So I test mine pretty regularly. And by the way, if you want to see a really simple way where you can check all of yours, we've got a video on testing your thermometers. Really simple. You don't need any special equipment to do it or anything. And it takes about 10 minutes. And then you can rest assured your thermometers are calibrated. Which brings up the other feature of this that really I was excited about. No other thermometer I know, and these, by the way, are really modestly priced. They're not an expensive thermometer at all, not compared to some of the other upper name brands and that kind of thing. So it won't break the bank buying Thermopro. But this one has a feature that I haven't seen on any other thermometer at any price. And that is it has the ability to calibrate it. And you won't find that anywhere else. But on this new model here, it's a TP605. And this one actually has a feature. So if it should get out of whack, you can recalibrate it. You don't have to throw it away and buy a new thermometer and everything. So there's several features about this one that's really nice. And so if you are in the market for it, I highly recommend Thermo Pro just from my experience. So, okay, we'll get on back with our rib cook here. Like I say, we've got them in there wrapped up, getting nice and tender for us. So we're going to go chill out a bit and we'll come back shortly. Okay, we got one of our ribs out here. And we're just going to check it and see how tender we are. Oh man, it looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, look at that. I mean, that is, Lord, that is just so pretty. Oh yeah, look, that is, oh yeah, there's just no resistance whatsoever. That is just tender as it can be right there. Absolutely, absolutely. And we are, we're sitting actually 185, 186. So I was expecting to be a little bit higher. That's 196 down there. They are tender and ready to go. So I'm going to get these sauced up. Actually, I think I'm going to leave these plain. I'm going to get the other one out and we'll put some sauce on it. So I'll get these switched around. I'll be right back. Okay, I got this other rack out and we're going to put a little sauce on it. I'm finally getting a chance to use this. This is a new sauce that Head Country came out with. It's apple habanero, and I've been waiting for months to try this stuff. I finally got a bottle, and so I'm going to try it out. I took a little taste of it earlier just to see what it was like, and it is really, really good. It's not hot at all. I was a little bit let down on that, to tell you the truth. It has virtually no heat to it whatsoever for a habanero sauce, but the flavor is really incredible. So if y'all get a chance, y'all see this anywhere, you might want to give it a try, because it is very good. It's not a thick sauce either. As you can see, it'd make a really good kind of like basting sauce. If you want to baste something over a period of time, put 4 or 5 coats or something on maybe. I kind of like that in a way, because I don't like to cover things up with a heavy sauce. So I kind of like that in a way. And we'll flip them over. And we'll do the same thing over here. We'll just give them a little squirt. And brush them down. Man, I tell you what, if you don't think that is pretty ribs right there, I got another word for you. These turned out absolutely beautiful. Now what I'm going to do, I want to let that tack up just a little bit. So I'm just going to, I want to make like a little foil boat. I'm going to leave the top open and just leave it like that. And I'll make a little foil boat here, and we're going to set them right back in the smoker. And I'm only going to leave them in there like maybe 5-10 minutes at the most, something like that, just to let the sauce just kind of set up a little bit, get attached, and get just a hair sticky. So I'm gonna get these back in and we'll be back shortly. All right, we've had our ribs back in, letting our sauce get set up. We've had them back in for just about 5 minutes. Oh, I think that is absolutely perfect. We'll see. Oh yeah, getting just a little sticky, thickening up just, oh, that is perfect right there. Okay, I'm going to get these wrapped back up. I'm going to take them in the house. I'm going to let them rest for just a few minutes, 20, 30 minutes at the most, and then we'll cut into them and see what we got. Okay, everybody, it has been one long, hot day in El Paso. We have got our ribs done, and they are absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to try these. So let's cut in and see what we got going. Look how moist these things are. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. Oh, yeah. Give me a cut right out of the middle here. Now, these are the ones that I left naked. Oh, no sauce. That's what we call it back home, is dressed or naked. Oh, let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, I mean, you can see that is, you can see the moisture in that. Now, that's the way baby back ribs should be. And it's very easy to dry them out. So remember all the precautions we took earlier. Everything we did, and see, it paid off. Every little bit paid off. Let's see what we got here. Oh, damn. I mean, it's just, it's not falling off the bone. But I mean, it's so tender, it just like melts in your mouth. I'm not kidding. It just like melts in your mouth. That rub is just perfect on there. It adds that little bit of base, that little bit of savory, salt and pepper and garlic on there, but it's not by any means overpowering. Smoke definitely comes through well, but there again, not too much smoke, not overpowering or anything. Just a great compliment to the meat. And that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to get the rest of these cut up and put in the little Tupperware bin here. And we'll fix this plate and we'll be back in just a minute. And there you have it. Some baby back ribs, coleslaw, and baked beans. The whole cook took about 4.5 hours. So y'all give these a try. I guarantee you'll like them.
Thanks for stopping by. See y'all soon.